blading it, compaction of the soil, the rock, and to bind it together. It's a problem right now. In fact, a lot of people are telling me it's a problem right now. So, and it's just part of the system. Hopefully we'll get some rain, we can make those corrections and get that taken care of. Now, on the other hand, it frees up the other projects that don't need rain. So, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. The resolution D is a pipe culvert. It's a work agreement with the landowner. In order for us to get the pipe constructed, we'll have to take a fence down, park a piece of machinery on his property, standard agreement.
And they're all done?
Yes, the resolution A, B, and C are completed. The only one that isn't is B. The road is open to traffic, but we need to get up there and put some more rock on it. Also, I'll give you a little update on some of the LET construction projects. What I just talked about is what some of our bigger, what I call day labor projects we've done with our armed forces. Pittsburgh Bridge Replacement Project, it's on schedule. Originally it was ahead of schedule. The North Pier Foundations, North Abutment Foundation and South Pier Foundations are in place. I expect next week to have the South Abutment done. So that project is on schedule. There were 100 working days to get that project completed, and we're at 39 right at the moment. So, you know, it's about right. Again, we need dry weather for bridge construction, but we need some water for some of our road maintenance issues. So double-edged sword. That's been a pleasant project, good contractor. Cummings Road. Cummings Road project, that's a resurfacing project. It consists of base patching, two 2-inch lifts of asphalt to extend the life of that pavement. I believe the PC pavement that was there was originally constructed, I want to say 1972. Well, give it plus or minus 2 years. I wasn't here then, but close. The 4 inches will extend the life of that pavement for many years. Hopefully another 15 to 20 years before we have to go back to it. The base patching is done in what they call the intermediate. The first 2 inches is about 90% on the project. Next week, we'll finish up the intermediate, and then next week, weather is a big factor. They'll finish up the next 2 inches, and then all we have left is shouldering and guardrail enhancements to the bridge. So that project's on schedule, on track, doing well.
And when's that scheduled to be done?
It actually, I think the late date is not till November, so I expect it to be done, you know, 1st October.
Okay.
When it's in November,
Yeah.
do you do fall seeding then, or do you have to wait till spring?
What we'll do, if there is ground disturbance and we're outside the growing season, we will mulch and put up silt fence, or we call them wattles, or straw mulch to tack the soil together. If it's still, ground temperature is still high enough, we will just put up a temporary seed, like
So
a
you
rye.
do frost seed, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like a rye.
Oh,
And then we'll have to come back in the spring to oversee.
Yeah, okay.
And that's pretty standard on all projects. So,
Thank you.
yeah, nope. I have to be conscientious of that. Oh, yeah, the fuel system. Once in a lifetime project, at least at the county level. Our old one was 41, 42 years old. I'll have more on this project. We're taking some pictures.
Now the big white tanks, is there stuff under them?
The big white tanks.
Those new white tanks?
Those new white tanks are temporary tanks.
Oh,
And I hope to have a presentation and kind of go through the project when we have a little more time and go through each one. The new tanks, the temporary tanks are out there. We're still using that for our departments, our department and ourselves. I hope to have the gas station up online this week. We are waiting for DNR approvals on the new tanks. There's a lot of paperwork that goes on behind the scenes with tank removals and tank installation. So we're waiting for the final report. It has passed at least the first part of the testing, and we are ready and anxious to get this thing going. There's a few odd things that need to be completed, but looking forward to that project. Again, that's quite an interesting type project. We don't do one of those every year, and I hope we get another 40 years out of it. However, with that being said, it'll probably be 30.
But
Tank.
you intend not to be.
Well, tanks, as I told you before, the tanks, underground tanks, they're only insurable for 30, or that's the breakover, and then after that, it starts costing us more, so. Good reason to get rid of what we have, and the other ones were actually fiberglass tanks, and they were single-walled tanks. They were a time bomb waiting to go off for a big problem. So we were very lucky that we didn't have anything like that happen. The new tanks, not to get into this or take more time than Brady, but the new tanks are actually double-walled steel, and they are fiberglass, double fiberglass coated. So that's how they protect the steel, and then of course they're double walled, so something would have to go really wrong to be able to have a leak there. And of course the new systems all have electronic leak detection systems. Our old system was just a visual or underground wells, so good thing to get replaced. I hope that it lasts a long time and is a good investment for the county and the departments, the intergovernmental departments that use that. We'll get many years out of them. Let's see, kind of talked about the general rock road conditions. Again, we really need some rain. For our blading maintenance, that new rock that we put down, some of that shaping, it needs some rain and compaction to get that done. Ideally, on a shaping project, you'd have maybe a water tank and a truck like that. It's just, we don't have that type of luxury. So we have to rely on Mother Nature to do that. That's kind of what's happened. Who knew that we'd get all the rain in July and none of the rain in September? So it's kind of the way it works. I hope that doesn't mean we're gonna have blizzards. Kind of the end, annual report. Every year, for Iowa Code 30922 requires the county engineer to submit an annual report to Iowa DOT by September 15th of this year. That's been quite a job this year to get that done. Myself and the staff have been putting the final touches on that, and it will be submitted before the end of the week. And what that is that's a report of all the accounts receivable and all accounts expendable or spent in all the categories that the DOT requires us to report in. So, blading granular roads, delivering aggregate, expenses associated with the Pitzer Bridge project, Cummings, all the financing that goes on that doesn't even flow directly through the county is all reported in that annual report. Those annual reports available from the Iowa DOT local systems. You can look at them online. If somebody wants a copy, I have one. It's a lot of boring numbers, and if you have questions, I think I can explain it to you. So monies like we talk about bridge projects and federal aid or earmark and that type of stuff. Not all of that directly comes to the county, but it goes to our county funds for federal aid, and that's reported to that part. So a lot of times when we get around to the 5-year program and the county budget, our operating budget may be around, let's say, 12 million, but really locally it's 7 million. Therefore, could be those other projects like the $4 million Cummings Road resurfacing that comes out of the farm market account. So all that's reported there. One other thing to note is we are now on what I call normal 8-hour days, Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. I'm usually there quite a bit. If somebody needs a talk with me or needs an appointment, I can arrange something a little before or a little after. So that's it.
All right.
Sort of short. Thank you very much. Again, I'll be around at the end if anybody has any
Can
questions.
we do yours together, Mike?
Yes, I'm sorry, yeah. The first 3, A, B, and C, can probably be done together, if you wish.
Okay.
They're all road closures. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Michele, you are up.
No pictures today.
Michele Brant, Auditor, Day 5. My progress report will be for my entire department. Got all my logins, accounts set up. I've established communications with Solutions, which is our software company that manages the software for the accounting, county accounting. The bank accesses have been granted for the USB. I'm working on farmers and merchants. I've established relationships with our mentors for the auditors departments, ISAC, and the Department of Management. All work projects that were left have been reviewed and organized or categorized into priority levels. The tax process, the two-tier report was due on the 2nd. It was submitted on the 4th. To my knowledge, we did not incur any penalties from that lateness. In the process also, there were 150 agricultural land credits that need to be entered into the parcels. This is part of the tax process. That was completed Friday afternoon.
And that was due to the redistricting the fire department in Norwalk, correct?
By Van Meter, I believe.
Yeah, okay, yes, and thanks.
Correct.
Okay.
So anyway, as far as where we are in the tax process, good news, bad news things are going well. Getting help with the processes from Solutions and Mentor Auditor. And after that discussion, we're trying to keep the public informed. Initially, we thought maybe by end of day tomorrow would be a good goal for my part to be done. And in evaluating it, it's gonna look like it's gonna be, if I work through the weekend, Monday will be the earliest that we can get through all the balancing and valuations and such. That would be both the treasurer and I working on that together, and we are in communication. So we would be putting out a formal statement by the end of tomorrow as far as what we're thinking. There's no way to skip a step, and it just all has to be right. Along those same lines, I've been working with Solutions as far as, right now we're clocked at 13 hours of time that they've spent with this. That was since August. So I did ask them to please get me some one-on-one time, a budget, and it will be another $1,080 just to get us through the end of the process. I'm going to be looking at my budget as soon as I can to see where we fall, but it really is truly a non-negotiable expense we're going to have to incur. The only other option would be to not do taxes, and that's not one.
Do we need to have a special meeting to approve that for you?
If it's in my budget, I don't believe so.
Right, you can just,
There is also a quote for new auditor training that I will also evaluate and present to the board.
well, you need,
Excuse me?
you'll wanna go to that.
I will, but I have to figure out what we've already spent on the staff and the interim, etc. Like, I wanna know what that full cost is going to be. Really super pleased with the staff. Every single member of the auditor's office has been knocking it out of the park, because by them doing their jobs well, allows me to keep working with my nose to the grindstone on the taxes. Laura's got claims and payroll under control. Michele has been embracing and studying on trustees and making sure that we've got those obligations fulfilled. Michele is back from leave, and she is wrapping up all of the materials from the special election, processing the payments to the to the poll workers. And that is why we do not have a number for the cost of the special election yet. We've not finished paying those bills. And we are on target for work during, due to the November city and school. We did evaluate that there may be some gaps in what was budgeted, so we're evaluating if there's gonna be a budget amendment needed to cover the costs of the November elections. And then I am also evaluating the final printout of the budget. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Thank you, Michele.
Just keep us posted of your needs so we can.
Absolutely, I will continue to nonstop work on this process and also communicate with the public, that, what it means for them, so.
That'd be great. One question, can you add a date when you do those notifications on our website? Can you add a
Yeah,
date to those
absolutely, they
documents?
should be, oh, you mean, yes,
There's
that was a
job
good,
posting,
that was a
there's
good point.
an
That-
update on if you could just date the document, that'd be fabulous, but
Yep, we will do that. Yeah.
thank you.
Sure, you bet, got it, thanks.
Alright,
Ryan's not here, but here's his.
yes, so Ryan sent us
I'm
a,
on the bridge.
oh, we're on the bridge.
Ryan?
Hi, Ryan. Did you want to say anything or go through your report?
I can put the report very quickly.
Okay.
I've been DC advocating for farmers on my personal time.
Well, thank you.
But just looking at our map, of course, but looking at Madison County Development Revolving Loan Fund, we have 47,000 available. We have 7 active loans. One of those is going to roll off in December. We have had continued discussions with some possible loans. We have one possible loan that's a priority. It's going to be a renovation on a business that's being a business is purchasing the building downtown and will come in with a second mortgage and do the renovation. And that's kind of like the perfect scenario. So we're kind of holding any other potentials back to try to get that one through the system. I'm anticipating an October timeline probably on that loan to move through our system. So that's kind of where we're at with the revolving loan fund. Other potential financial assistance we're working on. We are working with a small telecom company on some potential financing on a project. We are also moving full steam ahead on an equipment loan for a business outside of town. They've been kind of wishy-washy and now they want to go. So we are full steam ahead on that project and hopefully we can take that out to review here yet this week, if not early next week, and then hopefully lock it in the week after. So hopefully by the end of the month we'll get that one wrapped up. And then we have a couple other possible equipment loans on the horizon, but their timeline is further out. We did get some nice training with the Iowa Interstate Railroad, the Economic Development Director, working with the LOET system, which is the online real estate system that a lot of properties get listed through. So we are going to work on taking the piece of ground that Madison County Development Group owns, the section between the long linear strip from Buchanan all the way up to the highway in Winterset. So we're going to work on getting a wetland delineation done and also get that thing listed with updated information. To that same extent, we'd like to also do something similar with the Earlham industrial site. So we're trying to touch base with the owner to make sure they're comfortable with that kind of exposure brought to the site. We'll run that through our office to try to minimize direct contact with the owner so that all the contacts will run through us. Other developments, we are continuing to work with 2 businesses in Winterset on locations. We're getting close on one of them. We are also having conversations in Winterset on a mixed-use development. And the big thing with Earlham is that we're trying to bring the city, the developer, and the landowner together so that they can develop essentially a development agreement so that there's some understanding about what the expectations for all 3 party members are at the table so that potential housing projects can move forward on in town there. Looking at redevelopment, we continue to have conversations about workforce housing tax credits downtown. We're having a meeting with the potential individual later this week once I get back to the office on Thursday. And we have been approached by new developers who identified a bunch of splittable sites or open lots in Winterset, and so we are trying to meet with them here either late this week or early next week to kind of sit down and kind of walk them through that and see what additional information we can do to help them get started building homes in town. Other than that, we continue to monitor a large business expansion project, and we continue to work internally to look at developing a strategic plan for the organization. On the community foundation side, we are working with Mitch to evaluate homeowner damage in Winterset from the flooding in, the very late June, early July, I can't remember the exact time frame on that, to figure out how we might be able to do some additional assistance. So those are kind of like all the nebulous things that we're kind of juggling right now, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan. I appreciate you taking the time to call in.
No problem, it is a pleasure. You guys take care and have a good one.
All right, you
Thanks,
too.
Ryan.
Take care. All right, so we are now,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye. We are now at the time of public comment. We are going to go to the folks in the room first, so folks on the phone, we'll come to you and I'll ask you to unmute your phone so you can talk, but if there's someone here that wishes to comment, please go ahead and come up to the microphone. You have 3 minutes to speak.
Good evening, Vicki Brenner, Winterset, Iowa. As the Board of Supervisors considers relocating Public Health and Veterans Affairs to the courthouse and selling the Public Health Building, the citizens of Madison County deserve full transparency and a well-documented cost-benefit analysis. Several pressing questions remain unanswered. Accessibility and ADA compliance. Will the courthouse fully meet ADA requirements, including but not limited to restrooms? The Public Health Building only requires installation of ADA entry doors, a far less expensive solution than redesigning courthouse space. Privacy and security. How will confidentiality be ensured, particularly for our veterans? The courthouse is a highly public setting that may deter clients, especially those with PTSD, from seeking services. Adequate office space and growth capacity. What are the costs and design plans for accommodating both departments of the courthouse? Will space be sufficient for today's staffing and future expansion as the county needs grow? Historical preservation compliance. Have preservation requirements been evaluated in this plan? Public health requirements. How will vaccine refrigeration and certification standards be maintained if public health is moved, since not all vaccines can be consolidated in Warren County? Financial responsibility. What analysis confirms that selling county-owned property is fiscally sound? Land and buildings tend to appreciate with development. Where is the detailed report demonstrating that selling this asset benefits the county and its citizens? And last, transition planning. Has a formal transition plan been developed with review and sign-off from all impacted stakeholders? Or is this another implement now, solve later approach, similar to outsourcing IT? The central question is whether this decision prioritizes county services or merely expediency. Without transparent reports, clear stakeholder engagement, and a true cost-benefit analysis, the project is not defensible. Leadership requires more than good intentions. It requires accountable, data-driven decision-making that protects both public resources and the citizens who rely on them. My major concern is that once again, the delivery of essential services is taking a back seat, while the ongoing push to outsourcing seems to be driving these decisions. After attending the work session today, I would like to add to my comments that you are in the brainstorming session of this conversation, so that is good news. I heard you talking about reaching out to county and state historic preservation. That is good news to hear as well. And that you are talking to all departments about the moves and the changes that you intend to make. I would also ask that possibly you could look at extending or expanding the use of the current public health building rather than selling it. I ask that you respectfully receive and file my statements.
I'll entertain a motion to receive and file.
Second.
Thank you. I second.
Oh, I didn't say so moved. So moved.
You second.
You seconded.
Okay, all right, good.
And
All
so
right,
you-
all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. All right, anyone else for public comment in the room?
I will.
Okay.
Dave Marsh of rural Dexter in Earlham, Iowa. I've applied for the position of the zoning board, and here's why. I've been a resident of Madison County all my life. I grew up with my brothers and sister, helping my dad and mom farm in Madison, Dallas, Guthrie, and Adair counties. I started my career as an electrician after graduating from the Earlham High School and married my high school sweetheart of 50 years. She also has lived in Madison County all her life. Some of my experiences have been farming, showing at the Madison County Fair, doing commercial electrical and computer operated machine repair, commuting to and from Greater Des Moines area for over 40 years. worked within the corporate atmosphere for over 36 years. The reality of living in rural Madison County on gravel roads dealing with winter snow and spring thaw. I've done jury duty. I've served as a chair on the Earlham Community Building Board. I served as an elder and president of the Voters Committee for my church. I also volunteered on the updated Comprehensive Plan Committee. I understand the difference between the roles of incorporated towns and non-incorporated areas. I also want to be proactive in protecting Madison County rural image, but at the same time provide a foundation for planned rural growth. I don't want to look back and say we should have limited this or that, or be exploited by the corporate world. We live in a world where it needs to be written, otherwise the gates are left wide open. I think we use special use permits and hearings for too many things and leave our county exposed to interpretation by lawyers and judges, and pressured by large corporations where profit overrules common sense. I also feel that some sort of an agreement with bordering counties needs to be in place that will give the neighboring county notice of projects that will influence the bordering county's value and character. I feel if the majority of the taxpayers don't want it, we should have it in writing as long as it is lawful to do so. I give Ryan Hobart kudos for taking on the big task as zoning administrator, and I appreciate his ability to make sure details are taken care of and the Iowa code is followed. I'm serious about the position and the importance it plays and would look forward to work with everyone on the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else that wish to speak?
Kylie Barber. Okay. So almost 20 years ago, I stood up at my high school graduation and spoke in our gym to our classmates and to all of those that supported us. I really don't remember much about my speech, honestly, but one things that I do remember and that I wanted people to leave with and go into this world, was that I really set home the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Everything has a cause and effect in life. There's that ripple effect to all that we do. I'm not putting blame on anyone, but we all know that our county has been a mess for the past year. So the current tax situation is that ripple effect. But I also know that we are working hard as we can, and we can get this situation better. I just really want to stress that we need to remember that golden rule when we're going into offices, and we need to remember you don't know what the staff has just gone through. I'm not excusing grumpiness, anger, or anything like that, but I'm just saying we have people that are coming into our offices and wanting to fist fight with us, and I kid you not, fist fight with us. Because their taxes are not being done. It seems crazy to me. I'm just asking for all of us as a county to take a deep breath. And please know that we are working hard. We really are working hard and giving it our all. And we want the same thing that everybody else wants. We want this to be done. We're all on that same page. And please, just remember that golden rule. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you.
Thanks, Connie.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else wish to speak? If not, we're gonna go ahead to folks on the phone. If you wish to speak, please remember to hit *6 before you talk. Anyone wish to speak? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Resolutions for board consideration. The first one is the auditor's resolution approving resumption of auditor duties. I know we talked about this at our work session earlier, and there were some changes made to the original resolution. Mac, do you have a copy of those for the board to review?
Did you want me to speak to that?
Yes,
or
could you?
good?
Would
Yes.
you mind? Thank you.
Yeah, maybe summarize our work session a bit for folks, so
Absolutely.
that'd be great. Thank you.
So during the transition periods of auditors, their Iowa County rule provides for certain responsibilities and delegations to be put under the auditor. And this is to establish that is the way we're going forward, and that would include HR and payroll. We are gonna serve as the board clerk to the Board of Supervisors. And we are, of course, have IT under our responsibilities. There will be future conversations, and we will address the custodian part of the courthouse. And that will be a direction given by the board, probably in 2 weeks. And we're gonna clarify what that looks like. We really wanna make sure that everybody understands who's doing what, who's responsible for what. And initially, I had included the custodian of the courthouse in the original resolution that was sent out to everyone. And we've taken that off, and we will address it in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended resolution, 090925A. It's crossed out.
Okay, so you want it to read, just so I understand, approving resumption of auditor's duties to include HR, board clerk, and IT at this time.
Well, IT is already under her, so there's no resumption for that.
So we're going to say
Payroll is too.
HR and board.
Human resources, payroll,
And we only remove the reference to the
Right.
custodian of the courthouse, that was the only thing we
But the
changed.
payroll is already under you anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's.
HR is
HR and
currently
payroll,
under.
exactly.
So what we'll read HR and board clerk,
Yeah.
yes.
So here's the,
The amended one is there.
So I would make that motion.
okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. All right, we're on the next one, which is auditor resolution approving agreement with Union State Bank, continued ACH transactions. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay,
Oh,
motion-
hi.
you opposing or for it?
Sorry.
Okay.
Right.
Everybody, unanimous aye.
Unanimous
Okay,
aye.
All right,
Oops.
that's okay. All right, moving on to the next resolution. It is the Planning and Development Board Commission. We had a vacancy due to one of our members stepping down for health reasons, so we have a vacancy. This appointment will finish out that person's term. Did we have the end of his term on here?
No.
Yeah, it's,
I think it was, is it the, we can quick look it up.
let me see.
Should be in the Board of Supervisors under board and committees, that would drive.
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to, it's a little
And
slow going.
On the January 1, 2025.
It's in Ryan's email.
Trying to find the documents and forms here. I'm going to the posting of their terms, but it's running a little slow right now.
It is
December
said expired.
31st, 2028.
Yeah.
December 31st, 2028.
Yeah.
And you have 3 applicants.
Okay, so I just wanted to get that clear about the applicants. So we have 3 applicants. We had one that spoke, thank you, Dave Marsh. If whoever we appoint would finish out the term through the December 31st of 2028, so what do you guys think of the applicants?
Wanna talk, Diane?
Well, yeah, I would probably go with Tyler Price.
Can you explain why?
Why? Well, I think, I knew his dad, they've been farmers for a long time, and I think he's got a lot of good qualifications when he leaves.
Okay. Well, I did my due diligence and I spoke, narrowed it down to Tyler Price as well as Dave Marsh, and I feel pretty strongly that Dave Marsh is the right fit. I think he's shown from his personal involvement in zoning issues and turbine related issues and other things over the years, has applied several times to be a member of the board. He's shown a lot of effort and interest in getting involved. I think he wants to preserve our heritage, and our land sakes, but also, carefully manage growth that we'll have. I would like to vote for him.
I am in favor of Dave, mainly because he served with us diligently on the comprehensive planning board for the 3 years that it took us to put that project together. I also know him from the due diligence he put towards keeping the turbines out of our county. A lot of people are appreciative of that, Dave. So you've shown the ability to read ordinances and code and research other counties, other cities, other states. And I think that's a value add, a perspective that our zoning board needs. And plus, you've lived here all your life, so you have a vested interest in maintaining Madison County as Madison County. I'm in favor of you because of the experience I've had the last few years. So, not to say anything against Tyler, I think we should keep his application because we may have another.
We have 2 more spots opening up at the end of December of 25 this year,
So, we should hang on to them because there always seem to be struggling with applicants and stuff like this. So I'm very grateful that people stepped up.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I'll entertain a motion to appoint David Marsh to the Planning and Development Board through December 31st of 2028.
I'll make a motion to appoint David Marsh as Planning and Development Zoning Commission through December 31st, 2028.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay, and it is nothing personal.
Okay, motion passes. So Dave, you will be on the board effective today through December 31st of 2028. So I'll tell Ryan, and if you want to reach out to him, you guys probably on a first name basis. So get with him for your next meeting. So thank you very much for your willingness to serve.
Thank you.
Thank you to the other 2 applicants as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, we are on the approving hiring Ginger to sell the conservation board property at Clark Tower Road and the public health building. Now, one thing I did notice is that we had a lot of description on the public health building, but not so much on the conservation building. I don't know.
Conservation board,
The conservation building, there was lots of documents on the legal notice, the legal description of the public health. They included the deed and all that stuff, and we just had the sale documents
oh, I
contract for it.
I gave you the legals for the conservation.
Was that for you, David?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we can.
That's
get the-
okay, we can still
We
prove
can
it.
get the
I just-
legal, so that we have the legal.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that, I just wanna make sure that the board was aware, and then also too, the contract on here is only the one for the, conservation, is that because we're waiting on public health now?
No, we should have that too.
No, the only one I got was for Clark Tower Road.
Yeah.
Well, my question is, should we table this for now, given our conversation this afternoon?
Well, we wanna sell the conservation building.
I know we do, but that contract, the discount is contingent on selling both buildings, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So what happens if, all these thoughts and kind of go in all different directions and possibilities, what happens if we end up keeping that for some reason, don't sell it, after we do all this, this vetting of options? What if we decide this building needs to go? I just, there was a lot of talk, a lot of ideas today.
So Diane, what was the rate if we end up just selling one? Was it
3.5.
3.5?
Versus 2.5?
That's correct, yes.
And what, is there urgency on the conservation building to where?
Yes.
Okay.
They
So
have
can
to
we
sell it.
split it off, or do we can approve it
I've
both?
already
and-
contacted Greenberg and requested the contract from them before we.
I don't know that if we.
No, we have the contract for Dream Dirt for your building, we don't have it for the public health building, at
Right.
least on the packet.
We have it, but if, I might have it.
Can we approve it to make sure
If
we're?
we do them separate though, will he still give us the 2.5? Because then we might not get both. I mean,
I
Can you make a commitment though, that you will use them at the time?
we have to because.
Whatever we
it-
sell, yeah.
Exactly.
But if
Yeah.
we don't.
Well,
sell-
that's our commitment, I think they knew that we weren't gonna sell them at the same time, they knew the other one was.
Yeah,
gonna
he
come
knows
later.
that, and we wrote that.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
So-
very upfront with that, that we aren't gonna sell them at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So in order to not slow down conservation, proceed, but then we may need to amend in some fashion. If
well, we
something
don't,
changes.
the only contract in the packet for us to sign right now is conservation.
Okay.
So.
Which has to be sold, and
Which
that's
has
all
to be
right.
sold.
And we could
So
approve, yeah.
we can approve using them and then, whether it's the public health building or I know you dream to sell this building. Anyway, some building, then worst case scenario, the commission is higher.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Dream Dirt for selling the conservation property
And not,
and the public health, excuse me.
Okay,
And
so
public
this-
health B, SPB 090925B.
okay, you make a motion to approve that?
Yep.
Okay, do I have a second?
Yes.
All right, I'm a first and a second, any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All
Okay.
right, we are on, the next one is approving the setting notification deadline for appointment date for Penn Township trustee vacancies. We unfortunately had 2 trustees pass away. And under Iowa code, when there's 2 vacancies, the supervisors are required to appoint them. So what we are doing here is we are deciding on the deadline to receive people who are interested, and then also putting a notice in the paper. So David Boyle and Kenneth Cresswell passed away, and so we'd be appointing someone to fulfill Mr. Boyle's term through December 31st of 2028, and Mr. Cresswell's term through December 31st of 2026.
So you're gonna publish it in the paper?
We're gonna publish in the paper, it's almost 7
It's almost
o'clock.
7.
Okay, we need to hurry to
Patiently
approve it.
waiting.
Okay, so, so we're gonna post it in the paper, so what we need to decide to do is what's the last day we wanna accept interested parties, and then what day do we wanna appoint? So I'm thinking we appoint on the 23rd,
That's fine.
and then when do you wanna cut off the exceptions of interested parties, so, let's see, if we post it in the paper. Okay, so maybe receive interest through the 19th,
That's fine.
is that fine? All
Because
right,
I can call them and beg them to serve. Which
okay,
is how we've always gotten them.
well, we've had a couple people already.
Good.
We've had a couple she's already,
She's working on
and
it.
Pat's working on it,
I'm
so
working on
then.
We could get some more and we'll just
You
put them
never
in the
know.
drawer.
Yes, all right, so we're gonna accept, interested parties through September 19th for appointment on September 23rd. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed?
amended.
All right,
As amended.
as amended.
Oh, you just
Thank
added
you.
the dates.
All right, so,
Well, there were just a couple typos. Verbiage we have to-
so yeah, they used his death in 2020. So, anyway, so you can get that to the paper. All right, moving on. We have, secondary roads, A, B, and C, that Mike said we can approve together. Road closures, which are already taken care of. So I'll entertain a motion to approve secondary roads, resolutions A, B, and C together.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Motion carries. All right, we're on the, last secondary roads one is a work agreement between Madison County Road Department and Floyd and Tria Donner, to install a culvert. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. The next one is, applications for permits and cancellations. We have an application for liquor, wine, and beer license, for Finley Farms for Covered Bridge Festival. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please vote aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, we are now into other business, board member reports. Who would like to take it away?
Go ahead, James.
You know what, I'll just keep it really quick. I'm just looking forward to a courthouse security, meeting coming up. It'll be the first one since my tenure, coming up September 22nd. And, you know, we've been working through, of course, the public health building sale and EA and all that good stuff, so I spent some time on that and looking forward to getting that figured out.
Diane?
I attended CIRHA, the Madison County Greater Foundation Historic Preservation. I was asked to sit in on the Madison County Greater Foundation because it, considering all the flooding in this town. So I sat in on that, and, I think we might have some solutions, and I think that's going to go forward. And then I got a call today, I'll bring this up under my report since new business isn't on here, Reno Dry. Reno Dry is a company that supposedly puts some kind of Brady, you help me here, what is it, an electrical thing that makes your foundation dry?
It's some kind of sick.
I researched it, I called a bunch of, he calls all the time, and he asked to be on the agenda next week. I'm not interested, and we have said no a couple times, but I said I would bring it up. And I think he just wants to come here and meet us, so that's okay, I'm not interested, and I called colleges, and it's just not proven. They've done a lot of buildings, but, and then I got a call too today.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Diane, I just wanna make sure I'm understanding. So he was calling, he wanted to present to the board?
Yes,
He was a salesman.
he asked if he could present and have a presentation, and I said I will discuss it tonight, and then I will call him back tomorrow and.
I'm not burning to do that, so great job.
Yeah, neither am I. He tried this last year too. And all
He's
of
tried
us
it
are
ever
kinda
since, lots of times, more than that, but anyway, and I've never entertained.
Maybe if we have a
much.
need that comes up, we'll know who to call. Alright, thank
And
you.
then I have another one. We have land in front of Hollywell Bridge, and it was ceded to prairie grasses, which is a really county right of way. And people don't like it, and they wanna burn it. Burning a prairie that close to a bridge is,
Yes.
and so I did call the insurance company, I called the county and county conservation board. No one is interested in this, so I will reach out to this person and say no.
Is it the same person that called last year?
Yes,
Okay.
and I think this is incredibly, one ember in that bridge, I'm just not
The bridge
interested,
is already struggling.
and, yes, so I will reach out to him.
That's a kind word, is struggling.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And I I will reach back and say all parties are very opposed. We just, this,
Not a good idea to burn next to a 125-year-old.
and you know, I'm high flat, I was all prairie, and about the second year we lived there, my husband decided he would burn ditches. He's not an old expert like our neighbors were, and it took one shift of wind, and we had to call every neighbor in the world so that it didn't burn down our barn. It's just not a good idea.
Even though
It
there's,
wasn't that funny, Susan.
even though there's well-qualified people to do that, even if you had the fire department out
Yes.
there and we're all prepared, it's not worth the risk. There isn't another one of those.
And I've done
I don't
prairie
wanna-
burns.
yeah.
Prairie burns are
You could-
terrifying.
I believe I talked to Steve before.
Steve doesn't.
That could be, he's not here, and I'm not the expert in prairie, but I have been told it also could be managed by mowing.
It
And
can-
we can late season mow it.
That is another conservation, you
Yeah.
can mow it, because I've done a prairie burn with Steve, and you can't outrun a prairie fire.
If something would go wrong, we
Yes.
just.
It's
Yeah.
not good.
Yes.
Okay, I will
Thank
handle
you.
that, and I will call you back. I'll
You get
call
all the
both of them.
ones that.
You
You get all the ones that,
good ones.
that bug you. Okay, anything else?
No,
Okay, all right, I attended the, technical committee meeting of the, FPO, Metropolitan Planning Organization. Madison County is a member, but we're not a voting member. They're working on some trails now, that seems to be the priority, that's where all the federal funding seems to be going. We talked about this yesterday, so a lot of times, you know, we're looking for funds for our bridges. And right now, the popular thing is, walking trails, hiking trails, and all that kind of stuff. Had the bridge preservation meeting, sort of, yesterday, we didn't have a quorum, so we just kinda hung out and talked a little bit about stuff and didn't take any action. But John, you're here, I have a question for you.
Sure.
If we get cameras for our bridges, will that lower our insurance premium?
I can check, but probably not.
didn't St. Charles put them in on their own? Yes, they did. The
So-
city did it, correct?
So I told Mike that I'd check, so could you?
I will check.
Check, okay. So we talked about that, to do, cameras. So we're working on that. We'll probably do something, pass something at our next meeting, whenever we do that. We had a board of health meeting, attended that, and I wanted to let you guys know that, we talked about the turbine recycling going on.
Oh, I forgot to tell you that.
The one on the east side of Earlham has resumed. They are not doing it on the city of Earlham property. They're doing it, I think, to the lot just next to it. So they're already recycling outside Earlham, needless to say, the folks around there are not happy. And the one on the northwest side of Earlham, they are working on permits right now. So if you drive by there, you'll see all the turbine blades piling up, and the folks on that side are not happy. Unfortunately, both of these are on the Dallas County side, so there's not a lot we can do. But I wanted to make you aware that it's
There is
resumed.
something we can do.
So-
I called the landfills. We are going to stand shoulder to shoulder because they are trying to sneak in turbine parts
In ours too.
on
Really?
everything.
Oh,
So
Really?
all of us are going to stand together, and we've already banned one for life.
that
And
was the one that did ours.
so the haulers, we are going to keep very close track because we don't want any parts of it. None of the landfills do.
Were they aware of the one that started up
Yes,
already?
they're aware, and so I reached out and they're going to, they said we will stand together and we will ban these companies, and if they can't haul, they'll go.
Well, that will be good, but that won't stop them from doing it.
We discussed, if they start to grind and it goes into our county, we will call the DNR and file fugitive dust against them.
Cause they do, the one that started up again does have the stormwater permit, they have the furnace dust, and they have the
Well, it's going to Boone, to that company that's making, bricks and
cement blocks.
cement blocks.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I didn't know the one on the east side of Earlham had started up again.
Well, it's a tot, when you
So-
get that in the air, it has really nasties in it.
Well, the resins that they use for the turbines are not the same resins they use for like fiberglass boats or cars. they're far more toxic.
Yes, they help one, yes.
So it gets into the groundwater, it gets into our soil, so that's basically what, the residents are concerned with. And I don't know if the Dallas County supervisors or zoning were aware that other one already started up. They were not aware of the one on the west side. I don't know if they were aware of the old one from 2 years ago.
Are you on board? I'm on board. I mean, tell them.
I've already reached out to them, but they weren't aware of the one starting on the west side. They had no idea. The one on the east side, I haven't talked about that one yet, but I'm glad that you were able to talk to the landfill, so they're got a heads
We're
up.
aware. That will put the pinch on them.
Now, one of the Dallas County folks that I talked to, the residents, they are gonna talk to the county attorney there because he's familiar with how to write an ordinance to stop that. So, hopefully they can get that in there so they at least protect their landfill.
How do you prevent that from getting into the, water system, right? The particles when you grind those blades up.
I don't think they know.
Sorry, Diane, that's outside my expertise.
So,
I could take a guess.
Yeah, me too.
so anyway, so the folks, we really don't have a lot of control on our side unless it invades our side, so, but the folks that live on the Dallas County side are very concerned, so.
Well, if it gets on our side, we know who to call.
So anyway, so that's it for my reports. So if there's nothing else, we'll go on to old business. Discuss public health, veterans affairs, department move. I think we talked about most of that at our work session.
I think there's a lot of homework.
We have a lot of homework. We have different duties that we have to do. I'm waiting for follow-up, responses from the ADA liaison for the state, as well as HHS on what they need. And then we're gonna, talk to the assessor, about, doing some switcheroos. So, it's gonna be a while before hopefully we'll have something updated by our next meeting.
At least be able to rule out some of the options we discussed, right? And narrow it down.
We need to think,
To a solution,
I think we can.
So, but anyway, we can definitely figure out a more efficient use of space, because we have a lot of space that's not being utilized, so. Okay, so, unless there's anything else you guys wanna discuss, we can move on to, 2025 priorities. I know Ryan sent an email regarding he's received 120-page document.
He
from-
said it's mostly all, I talked to him today, definitions,
Okay.
and he's going through them, and he's trying to light fire under them, but he is, 121 pages, and it's definitions.
That's all definitions.
Pretty well, he didn't say all, but it's a lot of definitions, which he thinks we probably need,
Yes,
but that's what
for
it is.
clarity.
That's what it is.
So, okay, well, that's good. At least there's some movement on there. Anything else? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjournment, please vote aye. Aye, all opposed, motion carries.